Hi, welcome to this video. It's custom in ArcoLinux that we make every month a video telling you what's changed, what's new, but also making a video to keep on rolling. So ArcoLinux is a rolling distribution. It means you don't need to do a clean install. Once you've installed it, you just keep updating or upgrading or whatever you want to call it. But you won't format it, you won't partition it again. It's just going to be rolling, and that's the word that I use. So the idea is now to make an ArcoLinux 19.07, so optical drive is here. So we'll start from the ISO from 07, meaning July, and version 11 in this case for ArcoLinux. There are other version numbers depending on LTS or depending on desktop, but it's always the same thing based on the ArcoLinux ISO. I've changed the settings, that's true. I guess I should change it as well. Well, the thing is, I've changed it that my system is actually an EFI system rather than a grub system. You can do this in Oracle. In here in the VirtualBox, I told to the system, let's see if I can get there. It lets me show you. So I've tried installing the ArcoLinux version here for 2019-091. I've done this in an EFI, so that's why this one is also in EFI, not in grub. Now it's normal that it's gonna take a while. It's okay. It's normal. Here is already message coming up. So yes, it started already, and we've booted on VirtualBox. And this machine thinks now it's the newest one. It's an UEFI or EFI setup. So we just go through the motions. I don't think that's necessary to go in detail. There are lots of videos telling you how to install it. It's pretty easy. Just keep on clicking and tell who you are, what the name is of your computer, and a nice password. And that's it. And so go for next. And then you have the installation. It seems we have a big number of installations to go over. So this video is a video how to keep rolling. It's not about what the new stuff is. I'll make a separate video for that. So specifically, we're gonna install this old version of July and get to the new one, which is today. We are September the 11th. Okay, so pretty soon, and that's normal. The normal procedure is that somewhere middle of the month we'll release an ISO. Somewhere near the weekend is always practical. So the 14th we'll put the ISO online and so on, and October will be probably the 19th and November will be the 16th. So more or less in the middle of the month at a particular weekend. We rebuilt the ISO. Now in the future, we'll rebuild, of course, the main ISO, which is the ArcoLinux and ArcoLinux D. The ArcoLinux B, it's all up to you guys. I mean, by that, you should build it yourself. And that's why we've done such a big job in July. We have done here awesome work in the sense that we have made so many ISOs, 60 of them. So that's a lot of work, and we can't do that monthly. That's pretty obvious with a small team like ours. That's not possible. And the idea is anyway that you build it. ArcoLinux B is you build the stuff. And here is a nice infographic what you can do, because we've doubled our ISOs because of the fact that we also have the LTS kernel. So we've already got feedback that it actually works. It helps people to for depending on the hardware you have, that the Linux LTS kernel is working for them, and not the newer one, the latest one, the version of what is called the Linux kernel. So a lot of the documentation. The point is, and I just wanted to go to ArcoLinux B here. So there's a lot of stuff in here, and it's all built already. It's always gonna be the reference for us if you want to don't want to build ArcoLinux B, well, go get one of these guys. So July version is going to be our reference date. Just get that one, keep updating, keep rolling, fine. But if you don't want to update, let's say it's January 2020 and you say I have 6 months update, well, build it. That's the point, build it. You have the B here, you can build it yourself. It's a little script, it takes some time, takes some downloads, but it's gonna be your ISO. That's always the point. It's not our selection of software you want, it's your selection of software you want, and that's the point of the ArcoLinux B. So if you don't want to build it, download it, update it. If you do want to build it, then go for the ArcoLinux B website. And you'll see, if you've done 1 or 2 videos, watch them, then you say it's always the same thing. And it is, it's running a script and that's it. Okay, we get there. So here it is, to build or not tutorials, Calamaris information. Here you build the ISO with no changes, with changes, D with no changes, with changes, and so on. The minimal one, the bare one, it's in a separate, so you don't see the bare one in the menu, so it's a separate thing. You can see here what we did, how we made the biggest gaming ISO. You can do whatever you want. Here is the bare one, and so on. Another one, XFC bare. So it is really playing around with Lego blocks and building on your own. And that's the B. Build your own operating system. And that's powerful, of course. In the meantime, we're done. Great, good talk. And the point is, of course, to make a video, to stay rolling. So if you have installed from the ISO of July, you need to update. And that's this video. Let's restart now. I'm done. Like I said, it's take a little bit longer because of the fact that VirtualBox is going to think, well, we can actually make this faster. Alt-G-R and R, I think, reset. And I don't, was it Control-R? Control-R. And then you have reset it faster. What was I going to say? I don't know. So we reboot. We are at version 1907.11. Okay. So what you do, you need to update. At the first glance, let's compare a little bit. So that's the one I'm working on. We need to get to, well, 12, 13 kernels. So 5.2.1, and we need to get to 5.2.13, and the packages differ here as well. So let's see what happens. Yeah, of course they differ because I've installed the Nemesis script. I install even more packages. If you are new and you don't know what Nemesis script is, go and have a look and Google with, well, Google. You should know our websites, of course, ArcoLinux.com, in this case Nemesis, and lots of things are explained in all these articles and videos what Nemesis is for us. After installing the video, after installing ArcoLinux, I want to have Dropbox, I want to have InSync, I want to have Spotify, I want to have stuff that's more fun and like Telegram and Discord and stuff like that. So it's still a choice afterwards, after a clean installation, what you get afterwards. It's still not finished. So that's an easy way for us to just get started, which is another great tip. And the Arco get started is something you should remind. Maybe if you look at it, if you see the video, you say, oh, that is something I was looking for. So under 15 minutes, everything, my systems are up and running, and everything is just syncing. Dropbox is syncing, InSync is syncing, and all the GitHubs are there. I can just keep working. That's the point. So updating, Control-T. First things first, maybe, depending how long you've done this, if you feel that the downloads are so slow, then maybe you can do a mirror. Now, if everything feels good, so I thought let's just see. Seems to be fast enough. 10 megabytes, 9. Well, 2 is a little slow, and multilib is 16, so that's good. So I don't think I need to do my mirror alias. So if you type alias, you can have a look at all the things that are super interesting. But what we're talking about is this one, but there's an alternative and an alternative and an alternative. Because it's quite important to get the fastest servers. So we have 4 possibilities to get that. Some explanations maybe. Replace Numix GTK theme with ArcoLinux reported third-party Numix GTK theme. So there is an application, named Numix GTK theme that we can actually download from our own repo, rather than coming from a war, coming from Arch. It's now coming from us. Okay, so yes, that's fine. And then we get a long load of software, of course, things that have nothing to do with ArcoLinux, but these guys. That's it. We have 4 packages that we've changed, and all the rest is Arch Linux. So if somebody says, hey, ArcoLinux, that's not Arch Linux, well, okay, all these other packages are Arch Linux, and all the white ones are, well, yeah, ArcoLinux, and that's it. So yes, we are going to install everything. Now, I get that when you start in Linux and you see all these things, it feels like you're hacking or something. It's just an update, it's just a terminal, but I do want you to start reading one of those names. This is of course a bunch of names, but if you do a daily update, you'll see 5, 4, 5, 10 lines, and then you start reading the names and you start to learn what these things mean, and sometimes you can look it up. It's an easy way. You go in here, PAMAC update, and you see, okay, what is this catfish versatile file searching tool? Okay, fine. And then you learn more and more about applications. So the thing that's important now, what I always stress to you guys, is that you need to look out for systemd and Linux, these 2 guys, and maybe you have installed VirtualBox. Also, those updates matter, and I always do instinctively a reboot. Now, with 1.5 months, maybe even 2 months of data, surely where you saw the kernel, surely we'll have a new kernel there, and here it is, 5.2.13. And systemd won't be missing, should be here somewhere. Systemd is also updated. So yes, those things are quite important. SARDI icons have been updated. That's good. So these are the SARDI icons. There are also the Surfn icons, which is another kind of look, which is also interesting to have a look at. Why not this one for once? So that's another way of looking at your machine. And there are of course other choices. Let's wait for this to finish and continue then. While this is still updating, I just thought of something to mention. Sometimes people just rather don't use the terminal, don't want to use the terminal, and go for this one, and the PAMAC updater, which is fine by me. There's only one thing. This one, the terminal, gives us a little bit more information. And what is that? Well, why is it interesting? Why should I suggest to use this one? Because it's going to tell you information, upgrading, that's fine. But these developers have written some of these help notes or information or anything like that, and it's going to tell you something. The information is visible when you scroll up, and you can go over it. Now we do just the same. We go and tell to you, okay, ArcoLinux bin-git has been updated or upgraded, it says here. The files have been installed in etc/scal.bin, so in hidden one for that. So do you know already, if you see these lines, if you see somewhere scal, you know, oh, I need to get the new data in. There is new data in a specific place, and it's called etc/scal. So I need to take an action if I want to get those updates in. Some of the packages just go to user share, which is okay, you don't have to do anything, but some of them are theming and are actually coming, or should be coming, I should say, inside your home directory. And we're never ever gonna change your home directory without you knowing it. It's you who should take the action to say, oh, there's something new. What is it? What is new? You go to the etc scal, and in here, let's just type the word scal, and in here is nothing. Yeah, sure, but if you press the button here, show hidden files, there's quite a lot. So all the new stuff that we develop, that we think is better or we improve, it's gonna be in here. And if you don't do a Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V and copy paste it here, it's never gonna work for you. It's never gonna be updated. It's still the old one, which is great maybe, but it's not gonna be the version we're having. So that's why we made a scal command, a alias. So do not get frustrated by it. It's created for us to be working fast, to be efficient. So the scal thing is gonna copy paste everything inside and overwrite your own settings as well. Okay, so the new stuff comes in, but maybe you rather wanted the old stuff. So that's all explained on tutorials. So what scal is, what CB is, also an interesting one, what backup scal is. So dive into that, and then you know what's going on. And maybe you first say, before I'm gonna do an update, well, a scal command, I'm gonna do a Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. So I have my own files the way I like them here. This is your copy. So whatever is going to be changed in here, it's never going to be overwritten in config copy1. You can rename it to config Eric or something more convenient, but it's going to be safeguarded. Your settings are safeguarded. This is a copy, and I always tell in all the videos I make, please learn the application compare. It's a super thing. It just shows you directly how fast, if there are differences between the one and the other. With a button up here, we see already with a copy paste there are already differences. So it's a great way to learn, and that's of course one of the goals of ArcoLinux. Have fun, but also learn. Okay, so do read about scal and backup scal and all that. Okay, let's do one more. Nothing should happen, right? Update, everything is okay. Now we saw the scal. So we could do a backup scal first. That's one. And we have that already. We should have done that before the update, but okay, I forgot. So do read up about what backup scal means. So next time you don't do an update, do a backup scal again prior to the update. If we do a scal, we know now what's going to happen. Everything is copy pasted over. The settings are overwritten. It's from the etc scal to the home directory. Fine. Now, not everything is yet up to date. What we've done now is update ArcoLinux and ArchLinux. If you do now an up all, let's start using our new alias. So we have pksyua, which is not really easy to pronounce. We have something like update all, which is then short up all. So if you press now up all, it should be updating everything. So at this point in time, in the July version, we did not come up with this great name. In BashRC, there is no mention at all. Control find up all, not found, unable to find up all. So the BashRC that's now applied is not okay. It's not the newest one. So the thing we should do is get this content in and put it in here. Again, this was tedious. It was always the same. Monotonous is the word, I guess, as well. So we have a nice alias. And CB is the alias. Let's have a quick look. CB is copy bash. We need to copy the bash. We need to copy the BashRC latest into the BashRC, then source it, which means load it, that it works, the up all, and don't forget the etc scal BashRC latest inside etc scal and do a copy paste there as well. Otherwise, you're going to copy paste the old BashRC over and over again. So one time cb if there are changes in the bash RC, which is the case. cb done is gonna ask the password for Eric. Why? He wants to override something in etc_scal, which is protected, so I need to be sudo go. Done. And now I can go ahead and tell you up all. So that's another thing. If the bash RC changes, a cb, or if you don't want to think about it, just do a cb. So here's the list. We're going to go for mugshots, which is a little thing, a little application that's gonna be this one. You can change these guys up here. We have lovely choices up here, but there's more. Select a photo, which is rather this one. Browse, and then you select something, but that's all good for us. Just the logo here's just fine. The Numix icon theme, which I am today the maintainer. I do not develop the icons. I should say that because people expect me to create icons for Numix. No, I am the maintainer of a package built on the AUR. That's it. PAMAC AUR is going to be updated, so a little application. That's that super application that provides super information, categories, audio, videos. What does Linux provide in educational software? Go and have a look, right? So it's a great way to learn about Linux. Vivaldi and the codecs to watch Netflix, for instance. i3 gaps next git. So we have a new version for i3. Timeshift is a new version. Xcursor Breeze, XSV panel profiles, Yet and Sapphire. So all of these things, well, you just have to wait unless there is an error. And that's important for you to know. This is not an ArcoLinux error. This is a PAMAC AUR error. That's where it went wrong with PAMAC AUR. So either the package builder is has not updated it correctly, or there are references that are wrong. In this case, it might even mean that we should just simply reboot. So that's something we forgot totally to do, and maybe that's the reason. Because of course, if lots of things change, and this is like I said, I think about 2 months of data, well, you should reboot. Of course you should reboot. And then there may be a new Python version, there may be new things available, and PAMAC AUR has been of course updated to work with these new versions, and then of course something goes wrong. So let's try that again, see what happens, if that's the case or not. Often it's common sense, and well, I hear sometimes the students say to me that, well, you don't have to boot Linux, it's always 99.9% online. Yes, for websites we try to be online always, but there are instances where you actually should reboot, as simply as on the Windows or on the Mac. So yeah, generally speaking, but from time to time, certainly after 2 months update, reboot. So talking about rebooting and kernels and all that, here it is. So we've moved from 5.2.1 to 13, so that's okay. We still have 1,194 packages, and I don't see PAMAC, but then it's not PAMAC at this point in time. It's i3 that's been built. Here is PAMAC. Maybe we'll see the error, maybe not. All depends. If it needed new packages, new, I don't know, whatever it uses. Okay, so compiling C object, build stopped, subcommand failed, an error occurred in the build. What do you do then? Then you go to the PAMAC AUR, it's still there, and you say, let's have well, you can also uninstall PAMAC AUR and keep updating, but why do that? If you have PAMAC AUR, tell to the system, you know what, you can give me AUR support, you can check for updates from AUR, close. You ask for updates, and then you wait for the time that the developer, not the developer, the maintainer of PAMAC AUR has fixed has figured out how to actually make the package build correct so that everybody can install it. In the meantime, there's no problem. We have PAMIC. There is no problem. It's just one reference or one update behind. So it really is super unimportant. So apply. And all what we're doing now is say, build all the rest, but not that one. Okay? Not PAMIC AOR. And that's for me, I think, the easiest way to make it. Let's see what this again is. That's timeshift. So timeshift gives us an unbound variable. So that's out of the question as well, it seems. Oops, I've closed it now. So not that one, not that one. And let's apply and let's see how far we get. These should be all good. Not yet, maybe. And one by one they're being installed. You see less and less lines. Building yet. You can ask here some references, see what's happening. That's also interesting. Maybe you want to watch the terminal output. So here it is. It's a little button up here, well, arrow here and here. Transaction successfully finished, which means I'm gonna try to build it, well, tomorrow, the next day. It takes around 2-3 days for developers, well, no, not developers, Eric, maintainers of the AOR to actually figure out how everything is updated, what references, what links you should make, and so on and so on. So we're not worried. Why? We have PAMIC AOR here and we have timeshift here. There is no issue. Everything is just gonna work just fine, and we'll wait for the update. Let them figure it out and we just have fun. So that's that. System up to date. Well, in a sense, right? Things happen and give them time. Now the last thing I should do is actually change the release version. So it should say 1909.1. That's the reference of the release of mid-September, the 14th, we're going to release it, which should be changed to that one. And how do we do that? We do that by going to Ctrl-H. There is something called the bin folder with lots of fun stuff. You can check them out. It's very easy. Just type in open terminal, type in guns, and there you have some fun stuff, ASCII code and stuff like that. Fun stuff. All right. But there is also things that are important. The main things to install Samba and so on, fix Intel code, fun apps is also fun then, and then delete the LTS kernel or install the LTS kernel. But also how to stay rolling. So we have a folder to go for the June version to the July version. Now we should have a new one from the July to the September version. And that's it. And then we're good to go, and this reference will be okay. Now you can do this manually, which is actually just going to etc lsb release, because I tend to say to everybody, this is just a number, guys. This is just a reference. If you've updated everything like we did just now, then you can put in the number 91, done, because yes, you're up to date. You are. It's now 11 September, so yes, you have the release of September. But let me make a package, and that's also quite interesting to show you. I'm gonna make a new ArcoLinux bin package. Then I'm gonna put it online on the repos. We're gonna update. We're gonna see that it's going to be put in the etc scal. We need to copy paste it again to here, and it will end up in here with an extra folder. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. So I've built the package, put it on the repo, updated it, and I'm gonna update this system. So another update is going to show a new package. We have an ArcoLinux bin git for 19.9, which stands for 2019 September, version 1. And I say, yes, sure, install it. And then it's going to be installed in the etc scal bin. So this means if we have a look at the etc scal, which is here, it's something has changed. Something has been written inside this thing. So yes, indeed, stay rolling. We have now 1907 to 1909, so July to September. And yes, there is a stay rolling version in here, version 1. And basically, since mid-July we were on holiday and we started at the beginning of September again. That's something we we need really, and we have earned a little time of holiday. Nothing has really changed, so nothing changed, nothing installed, nothing removed, and the change in version is this line, which goes to 19.9.1. That said, it's in here in the etc scal, but it's not in my home directory. Correct? So the only thing I need to do, and then you see the reason why this scal is there. It's so easy. Just press enter, scal, boom, and we update this thing. Let's see if that's something went wrong. Definitely something went wrong. Let's try again. Something should be changing here. I've just noticed what happened. You can scroll back in the video, but what happened is that I was pressing buttons, and the buttons were of course of my real machine, of my real metal machine, not my VirtualBox. So I haven't really updated my VirtualBox. It's just this one that I should still update and not the real one. And now you'll see the update of this one coming in. So this is the VirtualBox. Let's agree that this is the VirtualBox by saying here it is, GPU VirtualBox. So yeah, I updated my real one. That's why I don't see anything, of course. And then we install everything. The same story on the other machine, the real machine, this machine. Everything is going to the etc scal bin. So let's take a look at that one on the virtual machine here. etc scal. Let's just type, it's easier. Scal bin, stay rolling, and here it is, 1907 to 1909. So of course it's the same data, everybody gets the same package, the same content, of course. Non 1909.1, which means if this is an etc scal, it's still there, it's not in my home directory. So it's a good thing maybe to have a look at that as well. So in the stay rolling there is no 1907-09, that's not there yet, but now you see the magic of the scal command. If you do the scal command, there it is. I've copied everything, so this one is here now, and it's this one that you should actually say stay rolling. So since it was a holiday, not much has changed, and that's that. Finishing everything off here and saying okay, now we are up to date. We have release number here 1909.1, and that's how we update our systems. And it's actually a good thing that this happened, in the sense that you know now it's not important if these things at this point in time don't build. You have the applications, they do work, these applications. Give the developers time, they do it without money, receiving money. I mean, it's all voluntary, it's all free will. I will say that it's you have to have some patience with these persons who maintain all these packages. They'll figure it out, and at some point in time these errors are gone. Now if these things keep if they don't get updated, so if you do an up all again and you see this, let's see if I can show you something. Control C. Sometimes packages are out of date or missing, in this case missing AOR package. That's something we could change as well. So the GTK XFCE engine, we can delete this one. So what I'm gonna do is make a new package. It's as easy as that. It's updating the package and making sure we do a sudo remove -r this guy. So take a look at the summary always, but again it's not important if at this point in time this build doesn't work. The applications are there, the applications do work, given time. So what I'm gonna do now is make a new package, a new bin, ArcoLinux bin package. And indeed, there's something I forgot. We need to get rid of this missing AOR package. Let me do that. And it's that simple and that fast. We are always on top of things because of the package management utility that we have. So the only thing we need to do is up all again. Or no, not up all, not a good idea, since we have two things that are not updating. But update is Arco and Arch. The AOR is time shift and the other one. So we have a new version, as easy as that. It's there, we type in scal, and maybe I'll show you another way of updating the system. You can go to the file, right? And navigate to the file, navigate to this, navigate to that, and run it. What I've changed, you can see that already. What I've changed now is sudo pacman -r and get rid of that thing. But I don't waste time opening all these things. What I do is I press dot bin, and then you have the folder / tab, right? We have the folders, the applications, so stay rolling. Tab, we have 19067327, right, from July to September, and we have something behind it. That's it, all with tab, and then voila, we run it and we say, okay, let's get rid of that. Do you agree? Yes, I agree. Fine, it's gone, and we've changed the number as well. And at this point in time, this is okay, and if you press an update, it's gonna look like this. If you press an up all, it's gonna look like this, but I'm gonna cut it short. C, Control C. So the reference here to the GTK XFCE is gone. XFCE engine is gone, and that's good. That's what I wanted to achieve. So these guys, let's wait for the developers to know, Eric, the maintainers, to make the package build correctly so that we can have it, the last version. All right, that's it for me. We are up to date. We had some fun. We learned. You see how the process goes, how fast it can be achieved to always stay online and stay up to date and have the right references, the right numbers, and the scal, the CB, the backup scal. Those are the core things you need to know if you start working with ArcoLinux. But there are many videos and articles to support you with that. All right, enjoy.